Something is weakening. Something is attacking us to the point where we're turning inwardly. Have you noticed that we used to have a lot of cohesion and unity amongst each other and energy to go and check on somebody? Have you noticed that we don't have the energy to go and check on somebody anymore? We don't have joy to go to a hospital anymore, to just check on a stranger. We don't even have the courage to step up to somebody we don't know and witness to them, because everybody's saying, well, I don't know if that person's going to kill me, blame me, or what they're going to do. So now everybody's walking around paranoid. We're being eaten up from the inside out. This nation has cancer. A lot of people say, well, it's Trump who's doing this. No, he isn't. We had division since Obama. We had division since George Bush. We had division all throughout. We had division upon division a long time ago. And every single president has to deal with his own circumstances. Let me share this with you. Every single president has been hated and has been the Antichrist. It's the same old thing. How long are we going to keep doing the same thing? Our Democratic president gets elected, all the Republicans tell him he's messing up everything. A Republican president gets elected, and everybody says, hey, he's messing up everything, and it's back and forth. The same arguments, the same stuff all the time. Here's a fact. Here's a fact. The President of the United States does not control how a person engages life in the world. No president can do that. A president is a spokesperson for the laws and those set things of government. That's it. That's all they do. They do not control people. They are not the final authority either. They're a spokesperson. They give us that status quo, their representation of what the government is. But they don't control how people feel, how people think. They can have their laws, like the border wall and everything else, but let me tell you something. It's the people's responses that's causing the problems. It's how we respond to things. That's what's causing the problem. We can't put that on any president. That's us. Think about it. Trump gets elected. Obama gets elected. What do the saints do? Let's take it back to the saints. Half the saints get mad because Obama's in office. The other half is blaming the other saints for getting mad because he's in office, because they don't like him. Did Obama do that? No, he didn't do that. Did Obama make you get angry at somebody else? No. You know what God calls figures like that who are in power? To the person who falls prey to them? A stumbling block. You know what Jesus was? What was Jesus? What did God say Jesus was to the Pharisees and the scribes and the lawyers? A stumbling block. So then, even Jesus was called this by God to them. Because, why? To show them who they really are. If a stumbling block can cause you to lose who you are, you weren't strong in the first place. I hear so many people say, I'm not going to follow the beast. I'm not going to take the mark of the beast. They're lying. First of all, it's not going to be called the beast. It's not going to be called the mark of the beast. The same ones that say I'm not going to take the mark of the beast and I'm going to stand, I will never deny Christ. What do you think you're doing when you cut down your fellow saints? You're denying Christ. What do you think you're doing when you condemn somebody? You're denying Christ. That's what you're doing. You'll yell to the world, well, I'm just telling the truth. What if God came out and told everybody to get a loudspeaker and tell the truth on you? He didn't work that way. Casting someone down is something people do themselves by way of a stumbling block. When he was in office, people began to show their true colors. See, prior to that time, they acted like they could have unity. They acted like they loved one another. We all know when President Obama was reelected, how many households broke up. Men, grown men and women were telling their children, get out of the house because you're a Democrat. Same thing is happening right now. Let me explain this. The president does not cause division. Leadership exposes what was already in the people. Do you understand that? Because we don't have dictators. We have representation of a government. That's not dictation. They're not dictating anything. Simply by suggestion, they cause people to be evil. No, people are already evil. And when you put a stumbling block in front of people who are already evil, the evil surfaces. Remember what the Lord said. Remember what the Word of God said. It's not what goes in a man that defiles him, it's what comes out. And out of the mouth flows the issues of the heart. When people start getting angry and violent and all those things, newsflash, it was already in there. It's like spaghetti sauce. You didn't see it on the outside, but it was in there when you tasted it. All these situations are doing in the world is causing a person to take that which is secret and shout it out from the rooftops. That's exactly what you guys see. When you shout something out to the rooftop, you're making yourself to be known to everybody. That's one and the same with conveying what you really are on the inside. These presidents are going to cause people to engage in violence and division and prejudice like we've never seen before. Please don't be a part of it. You guys remember that? The same one that said they're going to start showing all these ghost shows on television. Be careful, you guys, because they're going to show you a different way other than what Jesus taught. Please don't be a part of it. You remember that? And no matter what was yelled to the people still engaged. They could not hear. What makes a person not to be able to hear is when you want to do something, you're going to do it no matter what anybody tells you. Folks, these people that you see in leadership can be a stumbling block to you. You're a saint. You're a child of the Most High. You're a saint because Jesus has washed you by the blood of the Lamb. You're not to change because of mankind. The only thing that should have power to make you change is the Lord your God. But you have to affirm on a daily basis, as much or as often as you can, that Jesus is your Lord for that moment. Because if you don't, you're going to find yourself being just like those in the world. Too much hatred among the saints means the saints have lost control. Hatred always comes in, and it's always trailing frustration. Frustration comes when somebody does not get what they want. That means they're emotionally compromised. And if you're emotionally compromised, you're compromised by the flesh. The Spirit knows truth and operates by the truth and the light. The flesh knows emotions and feelings. So if you're compromised by flesh, you're acting accordingly. Put yourself in check and remind yourself, like King David did, and say, nope, do you know who we serve? If not, you'll be a part of what's happening in the world. And the call, the mandate to the saints was, come out of her, my people, that you do not partake of her sins, that you don't partake of her plagues. Because everybody who's a part of the world, that means it's in you, and you act in accordance with the world, they're going to partake of plagues. And if you have made yourself part of the world, then it's the world in you that will be plagued. That means you're going to have plagues.